Here, what's going on, everybody? And surprisingly, we got some super easy details for AGL, Super Vegito, and INT BUUHAN. We're going to get into these details, but first things first, shout out to Minato for translating for the translations. Make sure y'all give them a follow on Twitter. Let's start off with AGL Super Vegito. So, with Super EZAs, the super attack effect does not change. The only thing that does change is the passive. So this is the only thing we care about. This is the meat potatoes. So his new passive is he gets 2 ki, 200% to attack and defense. He then gets 150% to attack and defense when performing a super. He then gets attack and defense plus 25% up to 100% and a chance to perform a critical hit plus 15 up to 60% for each attack received. So 4 hits, he'll be fully built up. He then gets 40% damage reduction and reduces damage received by normals by an additional 40% and counters with tremendous power. So normals, he's reducing the damage from normals by 80% and it counters. Paired alongside with this crit, that's some goodness. That's what we want. That's what we want. He guards. Hold on. And reveals enemy super attacks for 2 turns when AGL. Okay, there it is. Okay, so he has an HP restriction on his guard in his scouter. 50%. I'm not really the big fan of 50%. If it was like more of, let's say, 77%, yeah, maybe. And it's only for 2 turns. But like 50% is kind of steep. But, you know, if you are below 50%, he has the guard with his damage reduction. Countering, you're going to see where the enemy super attack is. And, you know, he got some good stuff here. He then gets 50% to attack and defense, and all allies other than this character gets 2 ki and 20% to defense when facing a super class enemy. Okay. And then he has 100% to attack and defense, and all allies other than this character gets 3 ki and 30% to defense when facing an extreme class enemy. Okay, so he's giving support. That's really good. That's really good that he's giving support. Overall, I think he's going to be really good. The only thing that concerns me is super attacks. Normals, he's going to be fine regardless. He's going to take double digits from normals. Super attack, nah, that's where, you know, that's where I kind of question his ability to live super attacks. We'll see. You know, just 40% damage reduction doesn't cut it, and I don't even think it'll cut it even with his guard up. So another thing, you know, he does need to get hit to build up, but once again, he's having 80% damage reduction. Usually, I don't like this mechanic. Characters need to get hit to build up stats, but with his 80% damage reduction, he'll be fine. There's anything else that stands out? Like I said, I love the support that he's given, defensive support at that. So that's AGL Super Vegito's Super EZA details. Now let's take a look at INT BUUHAN. Alright. So once again, super attack effect doesn't change. Passive. So he gets 200% to attack and defense. He then gets an additional 200% to attack and defense when performing a super. He launches an additional super attack. Changes tech key spheres to rainbow key spheres. From the 5th turn onward from the start of battle, randomly change a type of key spheres other than tech to INT. He gets 40% to attack, 30% to defense, and he recovers 12,000 HP per key sphere obtained. Chance to perform a critical hit plus 33% and reduce damage by 22% up to 66% per rainbow key sphere obtained. He recovers 15% HP at the end of the turn. He gets 100% to attack and defense, and all allies other than this character gets 3 ki and attack 30% when facing a super class enemy. And then he gets 50% to attack and defense, 2 ki, 20% to attack when facing the extreme class. Okay, so he has the reverse of Vegito. Vegito is giving defensive support. Buuhan is giving offensive support. Let's look here. Is there anything that stands out to me? So 3 rainbow key spheres. He's going to have 66% damage reduction, and he's a rainbow orb changer. So rainbow orb changing, I think he's going to be really good. I mean, that's going to keep him relevant for a long time. Creating rainbow key spheres, especially on the Majin Power team. Yes, he's going to fit that team really well. That, I mean, 15% recover of HP at the end of the turn. He's giving offensive support. He's giving key. You know, I think he's going to be doing good damage. He has like this pseudo nuking ability where he's getting 40% attack, 30% to defense per key sphere obtained. The HP, I don't know if that's going to be real noticeable. Maybe. But if it was like, let's say 12%, yeah, that might be a little bit more noticeable. But 12,000, I don't know how noticeable that's going to be. He gets 33% chance to crit, kind of low. They could have just made it 50, but 33%, you know, to go alongside that, I get it. But overall, I think both characters, Vegito and Buuhan, are really good. Let me take a look here. Now I got their categories pulled up. So this is Super Vegito. Obviously, Majin Buu Saga, Super Saiyan Fratara, Fuse Fighters, Final Trump Card, Battle of Wits, Accelerated Battle. Fuse Fighters, and I think that team is going to be super stacked during the 10th anniversary. So I don't know if Majin Buu Saga, you might can find a place for him, you know, because he's giving defensive support. So that's cool. But, you know, we're getting a new Vegito, but he's not a standalone Vegito. I will say that he's not a standalone Vegito, but you know, I'm just trying to see, like, Majin Buu Saga is kind of stacked. You can, like I said, you could find a place for him on that team. The same with Fuse Fighters, but like Final Trump Card, he's gonna work really well on Super Saiyan, Fratara, Battle of Wits, Accelerated Battle, like especially Glorio. Jesus, dude, Glorio, yes, he's on Glorio's team, yes. So let's take a look here at Buuhan. So Buuhan categories, you know, obviously Majin Buu Saga, Artificial Life Form, Transformation Boost, Power Absorption, Kamehameha, Majin Power, Uncontrollable Power, Int Broly, Demonic Power, Glorio once again, Final Trump Card, Sworn Enemies, Worldwide Chaos. Okay, so he has, you know, he's gonna be a nice buff to some of these teams. Once again, same thing with Vegito, Final Trump Card, Sworn Enemies, Uncontrollable Power. If you don't have the Tech Buuhan, you have, he's a good replacement basically. Kamehameha, Worldwide Chaos. So he's gonna be a nice buff to some of these teams. Same thing with Vegito. He's a nice buff. But I will let everyone know they don't come out for another 9-ish days. So we still have time till they release. But that is the Super EZA details for AGL Super Vegito and INT Buuhan. Until then, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.